if you're thinking about moving to Paraguay, there's one thing that scares more people than anything else. It's healthcare. Like what actually happens if you get really, really sick? And I get it because I'm not just thinking about that. That actually happened. I spent 5 days locked up in a Paraguayan hospital, hooked up to IVs. And what happened when I was there completely changed how I view Paraguayan healthcare. I'm Calebo based in Paraguay. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've been fighting an autoimmune condition for about 8 years now. It causes my skin to flare up and it comes and goes. Some months it's manageable, while other months it completely takes over and it gets into a oozy, scratchy, inflamed mess. Now, I've seen a lot of doctors, all right? Probably 9 or 10 across different countries, the US, in China, in South America, and it's typically been the same result. Here's some steroids, here's some antibiotics, here's some things to nullify the symptoms but never really get to the root cause. None of them can figure it out. And this reached its peak when one of the doctors actually gave me methotrexate, which is some gnarly stuff. And when I took that back in 2019, it made me super depressed and sick. And that was a big turning point in my health journey because I realized that I don't want to have to rely on traditional medicine and what they're prescribing is not working. So I left traditional medicine. And that's when I went fully holistic. I went on a holistic journey to try to heal my stuff naturally. So I turned to multiple different diets. I did carnivore, I did keto, used natural topical products, and it worked very, very well, especially carnivore. Now, it wasn't a long-term cure, but it managed very well. And actually, when I was in Seattle, right before I came to Paraguay, I was able to get rid of it, probably 99%, just little bumps here and there. It was the most vital, healthiest I felt. That was on a pure 4 months of strict carnivore, only meat and fat, caveman stuff. But it was easy for me. I love meat, as you know, on this channel, and it actually worked, which was a beautiful thing. But when I went to Paraguay 3 years ago, took that one-way trip, that's when things started to take a turn for the worse. Now, the first 3 months in Paraguay, fresh from Seattle, I was vital, I had great health, it was awesome. But then everything blew up. And there were a few factors behind this. One, I was living in a moldy-ass apartment, as you know on this channel by now. My first Airbnb, the $500 one, moldy. I talk more about that in my Moving to Paraguay video, link in the description. But there were other factors too. My gut health, which I've come to realize is a very, very important player in this as well. I was eating all sorts of shit when I came here. All right, vori, chipaguazu, starchy foods, sweet foods. I was eating big ass acais with loads and loads of toppings and sugars and sauces every single day. I'd get steak and acai. I was mixing and matching, and it went from straight meat to this. So it hit with a blast of sensations that it clearly could not handle. So couple that with the moldy environment, and I was also training heavy in boxing, doing heavy sparring. So I was firing my nervous system, and on top of that, I was bootstrapping my business. So I had the stress component as well. So when you combine stressing out the nervous system, physically and mentally, stressing out the gut, and stressing out the immune system with the mold, this created the perfect storm for a perfect, incredibly gnarly flare. So my stuff flared up, man. My stuff flared up like crazy. And I'm talking yellow stuff coming out of me and oozing all over my body, head to toe. It was like the scene out of a horror movie. And honestly, looking at the pictures, I can't even look at them anymore and show them to people. It's gnarly stuff. My girlfriend at the time, she's an angel. She stuck by my side from my worst to my best, which is why I say if you're finding a lady in your life or a man or a partner, see how she is when you're at your work. My girl stuck with me. That's why we can have our arguments and fight, but I know deep down she's a real one. All right, just a side note. Anyways, back to the story. My skin exploded, so I moved out the moldy ass house. First thing, started to work a little bit. Had a better house, better airflow, more sunlight, symptoms calmed down. And then I also decided to get back into the carnivore diet. And I also did baths. I did vinegar baths. So I was pouring raw vinegar on my skin, which in hindsight was some crazy caveman shit. It burned like crazy. I did that for months and months and months to literally burn off the infection. I guess now I understand it as atopic eczema with a secondary co-infection of fungal and bacterial factors, which in Paraguay's climate, at least for my skin, for my composition, I'm very susceptible to that kind of infection here. So I read online, through my studies, vinegar can sanitize from these kind of infections and combat it. So I would dump raw vinegar on my skin, burn it every day. I did that for months, all right? And I got my skin pretty clear. Now, would I recommend you do this? This is not medical advice. Please don't do what I'm saying here, but I just want to paint the picture as to, I tried everything, man, to heal my stuff holistically. And I got it to a manageable point. On another note too, Paraguay's holistic options for holistic practitioners are very limited. So I didn't really have any help, and I've gotten used to carrying the burden on my own. So I just kept doing what I've always done. But if you do have a chronic condition here in Paraguay, you should consider that coming here, that it's going to be very hard to find legitimate help for your condition. So just know that going in. And I'll get to that in a bit. And by the way, if you are considering moving to Paraguay and building a base here, and you want our team on the ground to help you with that, you can book a strategy call. Link is in the description below. Skin is kind of cool. We've got it under control with my barbaric methods. Fast forward to a month and a half ago. My beautiful daughter is born. She's healthy. I'm so grateful, but I am back in a period of a crazy flare. Now, I don't know what it was. Perhaps because I slipped off my diet a little bit. Perhaps because of the stress. Perhaps because my gut got compromised again. It's hard to say, but my skin was flaring. And it was infected, and it was bad, to the point where I could not even hold my daughter. And this is after going through all that to get it clear again. It flares up very seriously again. I can't hold my daughter, and I'm looking at myself like, all right, I really don't care what it takes. I don't care what my principles are. I don't care who does it. I don't care if you got to chop off my arm. I need this handled right now. I need to be able to hold my daughter. So I put my pride aside, and I said, inject me with whatever shit, I don't care. Antibiotics, Western medicine, Eastern medicine, Paraguayan folk medicine. Put it in me right now. So I went to the hospital. I checked into Sanatorio Migone, and that's one of the top private hospitals here in Asunción. So when I got there, they hooked me up with some IV corticosteroids and some IV antibiotics and allergy medicine. And I was sitting there on the bed, hooked up, and honestly, it was nice. Like, I felt like I was in the Ritz-Carlton. They were bringing me steaks 3 times a day. Steaks with zapallo, which is the local squash. It's one of my favorites. It's great for the gut too. So steaks and zapallo, because the ladies in there, and they knew that I only eat steak really. So steaks and zapallo. I would drizzle on my extra virgin olive oil from home, and my girlfriend helped me smuggle in some contraband. One day she bought me my blueberries, my sardines, and one day on Saturday she went and got me some asado. It was really funny because the ladies brought in my steak, and it was this little steak, very good, but portions are small. Come on now, we need to up that. My girlfriend brought me a big ass piece of costilla, which is a huge rib, and it had a huge bone. So it was so funny because the doctors brought in my plate, and then when they came in to collect it, there was this big ass bone. They're like, she smirked, and I was like, I don't know. But I was eating damn good in there, okay? I was eating damn good. I was chilling. And I think the bigger thing that I really appreciated, which is why it felt so good, I mean, the doctors, they would check on me every single hour. They had different ones. They were very kind. They were very nice. It was great energy, which made me feel good inside. But also, this was the first time in years I didn't have to figure it out on my own. I didn't have the burden of my health on me. I finally put that in someone else to carry that, and it took a weight off of my shoulders that I didn't even know was there, that I was carrying. And that right there was probably just as healing, if not more, than the actual medicine itself. Now, what did that do? It cleared up a lot of it, and it got me, my skin was smoother than ever before. And Western medicine, and the downsides are that I was on heavy suppressants with corticosteroids, so my immune system was suppressed, and when I left, slowly it started to regress back, which means the infection was not fully dealt with. So I've had to go back and get more treatment, and I'm still recovering from that time. Now I'm way better, about 80% better than I was then, and I'm still healing, but I actually have faith in this team I'm working with, which is something that is incredibly rare for me, and particularly here. It is a blessing from God. I thank God. I'm very grateful for that. But I have to realize that the reality too is I got very lucky. Because here's the truth. Finding good doctors in general is hit or miss. Finding good doctors here, same principle applies, but amplified a little bit. I got lucky and found a team who actually works with traditional Western doctors that I used to shy away from. Actually listen to me. When I say I'm not taking that medicine in my body, I'm not eating those foods. Sorry, I'm not eating that crap. I'm eating what I eat, what's healthy for me. What I know based on my 8 years of battling this thing, what works for my body. They actually listen and build around that. That is so rare. Not just in Paraguay, in the world in general. So that's why I thank God. I'm very grateful I found them. But I've been through a bunch of very crappy doctors before I got to this point. For example, here I found a doctor in this country, dermatologist. Claiming I've healed thousands and thousands of people. But when I went to her, she disregarded anything I said and said, yep, I know what you have. No, you don't have what you think. Oh, by the way, is this where it's infected? She took her finger, I kid you not, and poked my infection. I was like, this is the spot, right? Like, how clueless can you be? Then she took a pen and drew around my hand. She said, don't touch that area with a pen. Come on, man. No, okay? No, that doesn't fly anywhere, all right? But I wouldn't attribute that just to Paraguay. I'd say that's a doctor problem because I've had that same entitled attitude from doctors in the United States. It's a general problem with modern health. Okay, why I shied away from it. And that's why I say in this case, I'm very grateful and very lucky because I found doctors within the traditional modern Western health context that were able to work with me and provide great service and great results so far. So you can find great treatment here, but a lot of work, search, and luck plays into that. Another thing too, Paraguay time is real even in the hospitals. For example, I had an ER visit and I sat in the ER and sometimes you'll be waiting hours for tests. You're sitting there like, I'm bleeding out. Okay, maybe that's a joke. Maybe not that serious, but now I get it. There's a business model attached. The longer you're hooked up to IVs, the longer your time in the ER, the more tests that they apply to you, the bigger your bill. The longer it takes to diagnose you, the bigger your bill. I get there's a business model to that. Not saying that's always the case, but look, let's be real. So if you do go to a hospital here, just expect that you're not going to get instant service. You have to be patient, and that's just the reality here. Which is why I always say that for simple cases here in Paraguay, it's a very, very good service for a very, very good price. But for complex cases, you can't rely on it here. And if you have super pressing health issues, you're better off going to Brazil, Sao Paulo, or going to Buenos Aires in Argentina in more credible hospitals. Okay, so you're probably wondering, all right, how much does this all cost you? This is where it gets crazy. So 5 days, chilling in the hospital, eating steaks all day, private healthcare, full service, $3,000. And this is without insurance, all right? Let me put this into perspective. The average hospital stay in the US costs about $3,000 a day. So 5 a day would run you $15,000 easy without insurance. That is crazy. Like, I was expecting tens of thousands for what I experienced in that hospital. And when I saw that $3,000 bill, it surprised me. All right. Now do I want to pay $3,000? Hell no. So let's just say I signed up for insurance very quickly after that. I learned an expensive lesson. Okay. But in the grand scheme of things, $3,000 for a 5-day hospital stay with medicine hooked up all day, full service from nurses, that is crazy steal. All right. Now, another side note too, my baby was born. As you know, she's healthy, she's beautiful. She was born through a C-section birth, and we had a full hospital stay for that for about 6 days as well. That only cost $2,100. Okay, C-section, 6 days, $2,100, insane. And we had great service. I'm talking, we didn't change our first diaper till after the 6 days were done. Nurses would come when we click a button. $2,100. Insane. The value is here. That is not up to debate. But of course you need to weigh the pros and cons if you have a serious pressing issue, because when you really need help, it's not quite there to rely on it 100%. Now let's talk insurance, because I mentioned I got it after learning my expensive lesson. Yes, I pay $100. It covers myself, my baby, and my girl, and we get it through Sanatorio Migone too. They have an insurance sector that you can buy insurance. Now, this is not an affiliation, just letting you know what I signed up for, and that's going to cut costs significantly. I mean, even before that, costs were negligible, so I never even thought about it, but now it's going to cut costs even more. So I'm grateful for that. Plans are about 50 to 100 to 150, give or take. But if you're planning on moving around to different countries, perhaps you can consider international insurance. Providers like Bupa or providers like Cigna will run you about 150 to 300, depending, give or take. You can find cheaper options too, rough range. So stuff is affordable here, no doubt. Now, all this being said, here's the practical takeaways of my experience dealing with the healthcare system here. 1, finding good doctors is always a hit or miss, and you will have to search, okay? Now, that's just the reality, but it comes down to, are you going to give up on yourself or not? I chose no. I'll never give up on myself. I'll search until the end of the earth to find what I need for myself and my family. You have to treat your healthcare seriously too, but you have to advocate for yourself. So know that coming in. Number 2, always choose private here in Paraguay over public. You can't rely on public at all. Private all the way. I would suggest Sanatorio Migone because I've had great results there. Others might suggest others, but that's what I suggest personally. Number 3, which ties into point 1, but look for doctors who listen, not just diagnose. If they're just diagnosing you crap without listening to you, chances are they're a bad doctor. Number 4, the language barrier is a thing here. So either have someone to help you translate, will get lost in translation. When you're dealing with your health, you need to know every single detail. Number 5, you can source medicine very easily here. Antibiotics and all that stuff is easily sourceable at the pharmacies, but a lot of them require prescriptions from doctors. Same standard as the West. If they uphold that standard, that's up for you to find out. Which brings to the next point, get insurance. Don't raw dog it like I did, or you will end up with juicy hospital bills. Although better than the West, $3,000 is still $3,000. All right, so yeah, healthcare is pretty scary when you're considering moving to Paraguay, and it definitely scared me before I moved here. And now after living it, the good, the bad, I can tell you that it does work. It is for sure not perfect, but it's real, it works, and it is very, very affordable. And it did help me when I needed it the most. But remember, you have to do your own due diligence here, and you have to advocate for yourself. So if you can do that, you can make it work. And by the way, if you are considering a move to Paraguay and you want our team to help you set it up, book a call. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.